डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Hello friends, again warm welcome into the session. In a previous session we discussed regarding the wireless network standards and we got the basic idea of the wireless network. Now we would continue our discussion uh, in this session also with some additional contents. So we will get the idea about the wireless security. Apart from the wireless basic wireless security, we need to understand the wireless security is also important. After that we will learn about the wireless network attacks. In this session we will learn about the wireless network security present scenario of the wireless network security and the attacks, possible attacks on a wireless network. So dear friend, as you know, wireless networks are more vulnerable than the Ethernet network, because for the LAN or cabled network to make any penetration, to break any kind of security, it is essential to get the connectivity with the help of cable. So for that you need to physically present in an organization, and for that you need to pass the several physical security mechanism of organization. But as the wireless network operates on a radio signal, that means radio frequency, so with the help of air, and by nature air is omnidirectional, so the radio signal are also spreads the omnidirectional, and one can receive the radio signals, one can trace the radio signals easily. So wireless networks are more vulnerable than the wired network, and due to the physical restriction, because apart from this is the main characteristic, but there are another characteristics, or we can say the limitations of wireless network, architectural point of view limitation, like resource constraint. Wireless network are having the limited number of computational capacity as well as resources capacity, like the battery power, battery backup, or the computation capacity, that means CPU processing capability, etc. So at that time inbuilt, to provide the full fledged inbuilt security mechanism for the wireless security is not possible nowadays. And due to this limitation, uh, the protocol stack secure layer is built on the wireless network protocol stack, and the security is provided with the help of WEP, wired equivalent privacy, as well as Wi-Fi protected access. Dear friend, these are the two protocols. These are the two protocols which provides the encryption as well as access mechanism, secure, trying to provide the secure access mechanism uh, for the wireless network. So if we look in a detail, WEP, wired equivalent privacy, that means WEP is a very basic and original part of 802.11 wireless standard. It provides the encryption at layer 2 in a OSI reference model. Actually, you must know about the OSI reference model. to understand the network communication, and there are several layers, seven layers are there in a OSI reference model, physical, data link, etc., and application layer on a top. So, it offers on a layer 2 in a OSI reference model, and WEP utilizes the RC for encryption algorithm to encrypt the data, and uses the shared key system. That means it shares the key with the all two types of keys are there, as you know, for the encryption, and the public key is shared among the all the stakeholders. It use either 40B or 104 bit WEP key to encrypt the data. So, the entire encryption is done with the help of WEP key, and WEP key plays the vital role. Now, another security is Wi-Fi protected access. There are two versions, Wi-Fi protected access 1 as well as Wi-Fi protected access 2. And nowadays the latest standard is a Wi-Fi protected access 2. So, we will discuss on a WPA 2. Under the WPA 2, there are two flavors are available. One is for the personal and another is for the enterprise. Now, Wi-Fi protected access, it utilizes shared key that is communicated to both side for the both side access, receive and send for the uh, access point and client before the establishing a wireless connection. This key is then used for the secure communication. Now, in a enterprise edition, it is also known as a 8021X, which is use a radius server for the authentication purpose, and it is achieved use extensible authentication protocol, which is defined in a RFC 3748. So, radius radio authentication dial in user system or services, radio authentication or remote authentication dial in user service or system. It is the mechanism, it is a server mechanism which provides the authentication key based on the extensible authentication protocol to both access point as well as for the receiver, means end user. So, in a WPA2 PSK, we can say the PSK, that means at there the key is provided or configured by the user for the router with the help during the router configuration, and it is available for communication, secure communication. So, with that with the help of PSK, any user can communicate. Now, WPS means Wi-Fi protected access to enterprise edition. What happened? Another server is there, it provides or it generates the communication key for the receiver as well as for the access point also, and based on that, that means extensible authentication protocol, based on that the client and server will communicate. Now, as these are the two mechanisms to secure the wireless communication. Apart from that, we had discussed to turn off the SSID broadcasting. So, this is also a way to secure the wireless network, but as we discussed, because due to the resource constraint as well as the limitation in terms of connectivity mechanism, because anyone can come due to the nature of the communication, anyone can communicate or anyone can connect with the wireless network, the wireless network attacks are increasing, and the common attacks we can categorize in a access attack, in a integrity attack. So first of all, we will discuss the access control attack. Access control attacks, that means there are various kind of access control attacks are there, like war driving, row access point, ad hoc association, MAC spoofing, the radius cracking. So first of all, what is the war driving? War driving, that means as we discussed, one can communicate with the uh, wireless network. So if any intruder starts the listening of network packets or receiving the network packets from your network, at that time the war driving attacks are possible, because he is the intruder. But uh, either by using any unauthorized mechanism or any unauthorized, or by using by getting the advantage of configuration level issues, one can succeed to gain the attack of your to gain the access of your network. After that, intruder can easily intercept your network traffic, and intruder can also send the arbitrary number of packet, inject the arbitrary number of packet in your network also. So the access control of your network, wireless network is compromised. Another is the row access point. Now this is the most common attack in a wireless network. Access row access point, that means we know about the access point, and in a particular organization, in a premises, the access point have been installed by the network administrator by following certain policy. So in other words, we can say the network administrator is know about the access point installed in each and every access point installed in a organization's premise, and uh, the network administrator can own the configuration setting. In other words, we can say he is the owner of each and every access point. That means he can configure the access mechanism for each and every access point, and by following this access policy, only valid user or only authorized user can communicate or can join with the wireless network. But what happen if anyone with the some vulnerable mindset deploys any unauthorized access point in your organization? Obviously, he can, for this kind of uh, deployment, he needs only a free ethernet port and ethernet cable. So one can easily manage this kind of resources. Now what happened, these unauthorized access point could be accessed by someone else who is outsider of the organization, and with uh, this access, he or she can get the entire communication, entire network data of the your organization. So obviously your wireless network is vulnerable. After that, the ad hoc association, that means any permanent temporary user may join in your network by cracking the uh, WEP key or WPA key, and the WEP or WPA cracking is a common, and lots of tools are available. Lots of tools are available, they provide, because actually what happen, for each and every communication in a wireless network, the WEP key as WPA key is required. So at that time, what happen, if one can intercept your traffic, based on the packet intercepted, he or she can read out the WEP key or WPA key. So both these are the vulnerable, and uh, vulnerability have been already reported. So with this kind of tool, one can get the ad hoc association of a network on a temporary basis, and he or she can access, or he or she can control your network. Next one is the MAC spoofing. MAC spoofing, that means this is the feature of access point configuration. You can allow the specific MAC address only for the network communication as a authenticate user. Now this is the authorization mechanism, but one can spoof, intruder can spoof MAC address, and based on his prior knowledge, he can configure the legitimate MAC address in his machine, and based on that he or she can get the access of your network. Then after, radius cracking, as we discussed, radius is the dedicated server which provides the WPA key to server as well as client. So that means access point as well as client. This server provides the key based on the EAP to access point as well as client. But what happen if by using the brute force attack, one can crack the radius server? At that time, the intruder can easily know the key which is provided to the access point as well as user, and with the help of this cracking, he or she can get the access of wireless network. So these are the access control attack. Access control attack, that means mechanism to gain the access of wireless network or to control the access of wireless network. Now another, next are the confidentiality attack. Confidentiality attack, that means the attack which compromise the confidentiality of the network. Confidentiality, that means one can listen your network traffic, one can read your communication. So at this stage, your confidentiality of network might be breached, might be compromised. So one is the hours dropping. In a previous slide, we discussed about the war driving. Hours dropping is the similar kind of attack, but it is purely related with the confidentiality. Confidentiality, that means once one can gain the access of the network, the next step is to send or to listen the packet to monitor the communication. So in other words, we can say he or she can access our network communication. He can read our packet. So our confidential information might be disclosed with the intruder, and based on our sensitive information, they may launch the corporate attack on our organization. So this is the hours dropping. Now WEP cracking. As we discussed, was WEP and WPA are vulnerable. Now, as we know, the WEP provides the 40 bit or 104 bit encryption key, and entire communication is encrypted. Entire communication is happen in form of encrypted communication by using the WEP key. But what if WEP key is compromised or is cracked? And WEP key cracking is also possible. So your encrypted data can be easily decrypted by the intruder with the help of cracked WE key. Okay. After that, the man in the middle attack, the most prominent or most important confidentiality attack. In a man in the middle attack, what happened? The outsider outsider targets the particular device or machine in your organization by using some vulnerable mechanism like MAC spoofing or one kind of phishing attack. So first of all, they deploy a backdoor mechanism, or they gain the access of your wireless network somehow with the help of internal node, with the help of internal mechanism. And after that, using this compromised node, we can say it's a compromised node. Furthermore, or later on, the next communication will occur. So the network administrator cannot get idea about this kind of compromised node on a first sight. So the hidden communication can be possible for the long tenure with this kind of attack. So these are the confidentiality attack. Now, integrity attack, or we can say another type of attack are integrity attack. In a integrity attack, the integrity of the message or integrity of the communication will be compromised. So as we know, the access is gained by the intruder. Once the intruder manages the access, integrity attacks are possible. Integrity attacks, that means the frame injection. Frame injection, that means the intruder can inject the arbitrary number of the frames, and these frames are provide negative effect in the sense of network bandwidth, because for example, nowadays we are having 1 Gbps network backbone. So a particular network can carry 1 GB data per second. But what if the intruder starts the sending of data more than 1 Gbps? So with the help of frame injection, he or she can send, intruder can send uh, arbitrary number of frames in a network, random frames, without any kind of important information. But as we know, the network capacity is defined. So when it exceeds the communication, original communication exceeds the particular network bandwidth or network capacity, at that time the entire network goes down, and we can say it's a service out of order, or access point starts restarting itself. So this is the one kind of network attack. And another, the attacker can add the malicious message or can inject the vulnerable frame with the valid traffic or the genuine traffic, and later on it would be resultant into the cyber attack. After that, the radius reply, that means, as we know, the radius server provides the authentication for access, both access point as well as client or user. But what happen if radius reply goes wrong, or radius server is compromised and intentionally send the wrong authentication key to the user? So at that time, even the user is valid, he or she cannot gain the access of network. He cannot connect with the network. So these are the integrity attacks. Another type is the authentication attack, VPN login or PSK cracking. So in this kind of attack, the attacker can get the uh, authentication credential. Uh, for example, VPN login crack. So as you know, VPN are the private network, but with the help of authentication attack in a wireless network, if he can get in to the wireless network of organization, then he can easily manage the VPN login also. Another is the PSK cracking. As we discussed, WEP is vulnerable. Parallelly, PSK, public shared key of the WPA, Wi-Fi protected access, is also vulnerable and can be cracked. So with the help of PSK, one can log in, or one can connect with the access point. So these are the authentication attack. Another is the availability attack. Availability attack is the beacon flood. Just we discuss about the integrity attack and frame injection. The similar attack, the BTEC attack, that means flooding attack. The illegal user of the wireless network starts to sending the arbitrary number of the beacon messages or beacon flags into the network, and the flooding badly affect the entire network communication, and it consumes the network bandwidth. As well as not only for the private network or individual network, it also start to sending the arbitrary number of packet to the outside of the outside network also. So resultant, the outsider network's firewall may block our network for the further communication, because it imagine that this is the vulnerable network, and using this kind of beacon flood, the outsider network may block our organization's network, and we have to suffer another issue. So in this session we discuss about the security mechanism right now available in a wireless network like WEP or WPA, Wi-Fi protected access or wired equivalent privacy, and the limitation of both these mechanisms. After that, we have also discussed about the possible wireless network attacks, and these may be we can say authentication attacks or the access control related attacks. So these are the possible or common attacks on a wireless network. So hopefully this session is knowledge oriented for you. Okay friend, thank you very much.
स्वाध्यायः परमः